Okay, everybody, what's up? Arcader Zero here with another role-playing game review, another superhero role-playing game. I'm a big fan of superhero role-playing games, if you don't know. This one is very interesting, though. This is the role-playing game Ascendant. Ooh, look at that. Cover art's okay. And it's a very big book, just about 500 pages long. This thing weighs a ton. Let me explain what it is. Ascendant is a pretty new role playing game, and it is really a love child between the old DC Heroes role playing game from the 80s and the old TSR Marvels role playing game from the 80s. What they've done is they combined aspects of both those role playing games into this game. You have your APs, they call them SPs in this, but you also have your color coded action result charts from Marvel. I think it leans more heavily towards DC Heroes than Marvel. It's got a lot of powers in here. You can simulate just about anything. So it's even got, I even look for those really esoteric powers like time travel and everything else. It's in here plus more. Now I got to tell you something about this game, okay? I'll tell you everything I like, but something's really fucked me up in this game, and I couldn't sleep over it. And I'll tell you at the end. So Ascendant, here we go. What it does well, it really is a love letter to those old role playing games from the 80s that you remember. It has got charts upon charts. Let's see, there's some charts right there. Yeah, which is really nice. Okay, there's another chart on another page. We go back to the beginning. There's a chart there. They've got tons of charts in here. Well, I mean, they have to set up like the another chart. How supermetric points. I think that's what they call them. So I think they call them that's SPs. Look, even more charts. If you love charts, more charts. This is the game for you. I kind of like the aspects of some of these charts because it gives you a benchmark. I used to struggle to find, picture in my brain, how much could I really lift? When DC Heroes came along, they had the APs and everything else. I knew if I got this amount of strength, I could lift this amount. And that was great, okay? My old love, Villains and Vigilantes, it was a little bit tough to figure out if I wanted him to be able to lift a truck, how much strength would I need? Because there was a math formula involved. And I love V&V, don't get me wrong. But this has lots of charts in it. They do a good job about that. Artwork. I'm going to tell you a little something about the artwork. First of all, the artwork is decent in here, very comic book-like. And there's some really good drawings I'll post up. This is my favorite drawing in the whole book. Right here. Look at that. Isn't that great? But I really think it was drawn by someone who's a little bit horny. Here's another great piece of artwork that I really like. I'll post it up there. Check that out. And but there's some other artwork in here. I mean, they make no shame about it. And don't get me wrong. I love the female form just as much as some other people do, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. But there's a lot in here. Here, take a look at this. I'll post it up. See, I'm only just pointing at the camera now, but I'll do it in post-process because I'll post-process this video. So you've got your standard skills in here. You've got you got all the powers you could use. They really took all the powers from DC Heroes and from Marvel's superheroes. So you can create any type of character. One of the aspects that I did not like about DC Heroes carried over into this, which was base costs. I feel like that just eats into my budget, you know what I'm saying? So when you buy a superpower, first of all, you have to pay the base cost. That's just your entry fee to have that superpower. You know, whether it's 50 points or 100 points, whatever it might be. And then you have to buy it in levels, and each of them have a cost structure based upon the effectiveness of the power. And I think it's really based upon how many powers you can emulate. So like ice control, you can put up walls so you can be protection, do attacks, you can lower the temperature so you can affect the environment. So it has a lot of different things in there. So like ice control has a higher cost than, let's say, gliding. right? Which is only like limited form of flight. So that one's really cheap. But then you really have to figure out it takes into account weight and everything else. Um, and they really like they pride themselves on based on physics, and that they do because there is physics galore in this game. Um, if you wanted to calculate the lava flow of a ramming attack, there is a formula for that. Um, if you if you needed the formula for pyroclastic surge ramming attack, it's in here. It's in this thing. Now, this game really is for people who freaking love math, maybe love the old DC and Marvel. It is for them. People who really want to sit down and do math during their game, and there are people like that. This is an excellent game right here for that. Um, the characters that they give examples, I mean, they're standard, characters and half naked women. Um, they've got, I don't, I have no idea what they were thinking with some of these characters. Like this character right here, I'd like to call him Daddy Man. And he doesn't really have any powers, but he's charismatic and he's got these young looking girls half naked around him. I don't know. I go back to like Wonder Woman, where Wonder Woman was the guy who built her. He was into like bondage and everything S&M, and uh, he also invented the lie detector machine. So Wonder Woman had the lasso of truth lie detector machine and lost her powers when she was bound by man. Originally, she doesn't have that weakness anymore. But I'm looking at this. There's like Daddy Man there, right? And here's I want a foot rub guy. And now that guy actually has some powers. He's got like some mind control powers. They write him up where, he just uses it for like not really even his own benefit, just his own advantage. Like, can I get a free room at the hotel? He hasn't really turned to evil or anything. Um, but that's it. What was that guy's name? No, his name isn't Daddy Man. It's something else. Um, I can't remember what it is. Here's an image of sexy nurse girl. I'm making up my own names for a lot of these heroes that they drew in here. And don't get me wrong, the artist did a fine job in it, but it's kind of crazy. Here we have the DM screen. Okay, I'm not taking it out of the plastic again because it was a bitch to put back in. But it's got all the charts, or most of the charts you need, because there's so many charts in this damn book. I have to keep lifting it up. I'm gonna actually get my workout. But it's cheap as all hell, and that's a good thing because this reminds me of the role playing games back in the '80s. Okay, we didn't have fancy high density uh, DM screens or GM screens. Like the one from Star Trek is huge, and it's probably like the best GM screen ever made. Period. This one is nice and kind of flimsy. It reminds me of being in high school again, playing with my buds, setting up my little GM screen that's held together with Scotch tape. I don't know if this was a cost-effective reason or if they actually did it uh, to kind of simulate the 80s. Whatever way, it kind of worked. Fun, and that kind of looks like Batman. How it's black and with gold on the outside. The old 80s Batman kind of reminds me of that. Um, anyway, uh, overall about this book, okay? Once I said, again, if you're a fan of the old 80s TSR Marvel and Mayfair Games DC Heroes, this is a good book, even if it's just to see what a modern version would look on it. Playing wise, I imagine it would be a lot to make a character. Once you get the character made, it's a lot of math, looking at charts, figuring, calculating things out. They do try and make it easy as possible, but it's a big book. Okay, layout is decent. Um, it's what can I say? It's a decent superhero role playing game. Is it the best? No, my money right now for the best role playing game is going to Prowlers and Paragons. They did a fantastic job with that, balancing a point based and a cinematic style. That's really good. Second would probably go to Cortex Prime. I'm still trying to figure out Cypher, so don't ask me about that. Okay, what drove me nuts? What I lost sleep over on this game. This is one of the first things. When I first got the book, I'm thumbing through it. Like you get a role playing game book, you thumb through it, right? I came to this page, and like every superhero game has devices and everything else. This has antifungal cream. I don't know why they statted it out. They statted out antifungal cream. Does it come up in your adventures? I shit you not. Here it is. Here's the page with it on there. Um, you know, do the heroes? Did I miss something where you have to make a roll each night, or you get jock itch, or athlete's foot? I don't know, but someone took the time to put it in there, and I don't know if they're fucking with me or not. But it is hysterical that it's in there. I sat there at night just thinking, why did they put it in there? Why, why is antifungal cream in there? Why? Has anybody ever played a game where it's come up? I don't know. It's never come up in any of my games. Yeah, you could go out and beat the villain, but first you must take care of your jock itch, or you will get a -2 to all your. I don't know. Why is this in here? I swear. Oh my god. Um, the antifungal cream. Where is it? What do they call it? Oh, here's rules for cooling a lava flow. If you want to cool a lava flow. Where is it? What do they call it? Broad spectrum antifungal. Why is it in here? Oh man. Oh well. Well, this was who was this made by? Somebody told me the author of this was a dick. I don't know for that for sure, but could be. Autark is the name of the company that made this. Autark. And Alexander Mark Macris. uh, if you need a superhero role-playing game of antifungal cream, get Ascendant today. And there is a chart and a stat for a stripper's high heel.